It makes me feel disappointed, frustrated, angry.
Claudia Velasquez says this photo shows her son working alone in a hallway at Lincoln Middle School.
They kind of just have like this plastic kind of cubicle thing, but other kids are walking by all the time.
According to this complaint filed with the Maine Department of Education, the teen is diagnosed with autism, ADHD, OCD, and anxiety, and has had an IEP since 2013. Under a new IEP created last May, Velasquez says that he was attending class with non-disabled peers 89% of the day with access to other supports.
I shouldn't be fighting this hard. This should just happen.
The complaint claims that plans changed in response to a series of behavioral incidents. It states that in November, he swung an empty computer bag at a teacher for touching his belongings, behavior she claims is related to his disability. In response, the complaint alleges that he was removed from the program, which provided him access to mainstream learning without their knowledge.
Our goal was to have him as mainstream as possible, and that didn't happen.
Instead, Velasquez claims in the complaint that from November to January, he did not interact with non-disabled peers, instead going to other locations in the school with a behavioral health professional for the entire day.
This definitely has put him over the edge. All his symptoms got worse.
The complaint alleges that in January, his IEP was changed to a self-contained class within a special education program. It details a May incident claiming that the teen approached a teacher for math help after she refused, directing him to a behavioral health professional, saying that she felt unsafe. He left the classroom and went to a bathroom until Velasquez arrived, then moved to other locations on campus before leaving, it states. The following day, Velasquez claims she received an email from the assistant principal telling the family to keep him home while they investigated. 1 week later, another IEP meeting where she claims the family objected to the district's proposal that he receive 2 hours of tutoring daily. According to the complaint, he was prevented from attending any program afterwards.
And I want other parents to know they're not alone. I want them to know there's resources out there.
Velasquez says Disability Rights Maine is helping. The group said they can't comment on any specific cases, but said they're extremely concerned about the use of abbreviated school days in Maine. Schools across the state have been routinely shortening the days of students with disabilities, often in conjunction with segregated tutoring services. Those comments mirroring guidance from the National Disability Rights Network on what they call informal removals.
Under the law, students with disabilities have the right to be served and to have the right to a free and appropriate public education. So that can't be overused.
Russ Skiba, professor emeritus at Indiana University, is a special education expert. He says there's a complex balance here. Teachers with varying abilities to manage behaviors need to have classrooms without frequent behavioral disruptions, but also students with special needs are entitled to free and appropriate public education.
To go around that for a kid with a disability is simply not legal.
The complaint claims during a meeting, the district decided he would remain on abbreviated 2-hour learning while they look for a tutor. A spokesperson for the district said, "We are not able to comment on the specifics of any student investigation due to requirements under federal law. Anytime there is an investigation by Maine DOE, we work diligently to ensure that we are following our policies and practices that best support our learners." After summer break, Velasquez wants the teen back in a traditional classroom setting at Portland High.
But then I think of the end result, and I'm like, no, I have to keep fighting. I need to keep going.
We reached out to the Maine Department of Education. They told us since this is an active investigation, they can't discuss details. The DOE has a mediation session planned between the district and the family next month. For Maine's Total Coverage, I'm Terry Stackhouse.